So look, twin, it's that Hellboy, man. Yeah. Got some food to go with this one. I don't want to see it. I don't care. I'm going to show y'all anyway. I don't know if y'all can see, but yeah, but it's that good. Actually, I hope you're hungry right now. So I can dip the chicken nugget in the sauce. Boy, that shit fire. Let me take one more bite. Hold on. Alright. What's that? This shit is good as fuck. It's that Hellboy, man. Let's get straight into the vid. You see the title. I'm not usually a scary type of person, but you know what I'm saying? I guess we'll see. I'm gonna react to this and try to get scared. It's nighttime, I think. Yeah, it's nighttime. 8 o'clock. I still be scared. So we'll see. I don't know. YouTube, don't take my video down. There's a reaction. What's all that copyright nonsense? What's that about? You gonna copyright me? Nigga, this a reaction video. How you gonna copyright a reaction video? Duh, I posted that vid, but it's mine too. Duh, goofy. I'm sorry, YouTube, my bad, but damn, you acting weird. But yeah, man. Let's see what this time about, man.
After I finished college, I moved out of my parents' house.
Yeah, that shit
I wanted
loud.
a new life, sort of fresh and far away from my hometown.
I feel you.
It's not like I hated my parents or couldn't stand them in any way.
You just got out of college, you smoking a cigarette?
They were great and supportive. I just wanted to escape this hole I was living in and finally taste the adult life. There was really nothing to do here, and I wanted to try life in a big city.
I feel that, bro.
Unfortunately, after a month, I was already running out of money. I couldn't find a job in my industry, so I had to settle for anything that could pay my rent for the next month. The closest job to me was at a Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I seen
I
the shirt.
applied for this job and I was immediately hired. The first few weeks were hard, but later I actually enjoyed working there.
On your right
I
way
met some
to,
awesome people. One of them was Nina. We were getting along so well that we requested our supervisor
Why the
to
milk look
always
like
sign
lean?
us both in on the same shift.
What the hell?
It was never that busy there, so
Okay,
we
good.
spent most of our time talking and gossiping. She was a really happy person, and I was in a similar position in life as me. Her parents kicked her out of the house when she was 18, but she had to work hard to finish her education and pay rent.
This shit is good,
I
bro.
always supported her, and she gave me as much as she could back. We really became best friends. And that's how my life was. I was working at Dunkin' for about half a year now, and things were going great until...
Who the fuck is this guy? What the fuck? Red flag number 1. His hairline. Red flag actually, that's red flag number 1 and 2. Red flag number 3. Nah, see, he knew what he was doing by drawing this, bro. I guarantee that man didn't look like that. Cause if I work somewhere, and a nigga come in and he look like this. Yes, police, there's a man in here, blood on his shirt, receding hairline with red eyes. I'm not telling you to be on your way because I don't even like y'all, but just be on standby if I have to, you know what I'm saying? If I have to blick this nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are they doing? And they just having normal conversations like, do your job, bro. How is nobody else in there and he the only dude that's gonna walk in? What type of Dunkin' Donuts is this? I see why they hired you.
A
Off the
really
real.
strange man appeared into my life. He would always visit us on Friday evenings, and this consistency only added
And
to
he
the
got a
creepiness of his behavior. He used to order a cappuccino with 1 chocolate ring donut every single time. He was always wearing the same clothes, which was really weird and gross. It was a hideous green jacket with brown stains and dirty, roughed-up blue trousers. After making an order, he would always sit in the same exact table and would stare at me and Nina intensely.
Hey, I'm quitting.
Of course, this never
No
really
doubt.
bothered me at
Hell
first. I
no.
considered myself a pretty decent-looking girl, and I've had a man's eye on my body here and there. But the way this man was
Oh
staring at
no. Oh no. 1, 2, 3. Oh no. The females are so paranoid, bro. I guarantee he was probably just looking at her like this right here. Hold on. Like, no dude is just. Nobody's doing that, bro. Nobody's doing that. If he really wanted to look at you, he'd make it discreet, like that one meme with the dude at McDonald's. Like, he's not just. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. I'm sorry I had to see that because I got food in my mouth, but come on, bro. He wasn't looking at you like this. This is just what you thought was happening. This whole representation, the clothes he had on every day probably wasn't even a green jacket. It was probably just a, you know what I'm saying, a cool little green sweatshirt. And they put hair on his clothes. Like, come on, bro. This nigga here.
There was something disgusting about it. Made me sick to my stomach. I think it was more uncomfortable for Nina than me. She got really scared of him and told me she was afraid of him. But one day, he stayed longer than usual. It was almost closing hour and there were no more other customers. It was raining outside and Nina and I were sitting behind the counter and talking as usual. I was getting really annoyed because I knew I was the one with the key. I had to close the door. It was my closing shift and I would inevitably have to be the one to ask him to leave. Our manager had already left the building by now and it was just Nina, the man, and I. But right as I was going to go up to him and ask him to leave, he stood up and came to the counter. "How can I help you? Do you want anything else?" I asked. "I'm not hungry," he said. And there was a really long, awkward silence.
Give me an ad, bro.
Got to a place where all your senses told you to turn back and
I was getting into the story, too.
I didn't really know what to say, so I just stared at the floor and waited for him to say something. "But I'm horny," he said, laughing. At that point,
What?
and talking as usual. I was getting really annoyed because I knew I was the one with the key. I had to leave. Our manager had already left him and asked him to leave. He stood up and came to the counter. "How can I help you? Do you want anything else?" I asked. "I'm not hungry," he said. And there was a really long, awkward silence. I didn't really know what to say, so I just stared at the floor and waited for him to say something. "But I'm horny."
Real representation of what I would have did if I was behind the counter. Real representation. You know what I'm saying? Do you need anything else, sir? No, but I'm horny. Straight like that, bro. Straight like that, bro. There's no other way. There's no other way you can, you know what I'm saying, handle that, bro. You gotta do that. You gotta cock it all the way back to your elbows behind your butt cheeks, and you gotta smack him, bro. There's no other way. Let's see how she handled this.
He said, laughing. At that point, I was so anxious and embarrassed. I didn't even say anything back because I was just so confused and taken aback. Come on, I was joking, the man said. I've been visiting this place from time to time, and I noticed a really pretty lady here. I'd love to get to know her closer,
Let me eat my food,
if you
bro.
know what I mean. He laughed awkwardly. Nina and I looked at each other with wide eyes.
He can't be that ugly, bro.
I turned my head back to
No
the man
way.
and told him, sorry, but I'm seeing someone. I'm not talking about you, the man said, but your friend over there. Can you ask her for her number? He then started to stare at Nina,
Bro,
eyes and mouth.
no, bro. He didn't do that, bro. He didn't make that face.
Can you ask her for her
No
number?
way.
He then started to stare at Nina, eyes and mouth wide open.
Sorry, I'm gonna let y'all
It
leave
took
my
me a
shit.
second or two to realize, but I noticed his arm was shuffling around. I looked closer and his hand was in his pants. This sick bastard was masturbating as he was talking to us. You better leave right now, or I'm calling the police, I screamed. Nina was about to cry, but I stayed strong and tried to protect her. He tried to jump over the counter and grab Nina, but thankfully I knocked him over the edge and he landed on his head. We
Bro,
ran. We ran as fast as we could.
bro. You were supposed to punch him. Like, fuck all that. He grabbed my friend, but I pushed him back and he landed on his. Simple, bro. And run. Just like y'all did.
We never looked back. When we got to safety, we called our manager, who
Y'all
called the
went to
police.
the woods?
The cops were quick in telling us that the man had gotten away, and they closed the case shortly after because there was really nothing they could do. As disappointing as this was, Nina and I were just happy that the man was off our backs. It seemed like things would go back to normal. A few days passed by and I almost forgot about him. Everything seemed to be back to normal and I enjoyed working with my best friend as a barista. Eventually, Nina and I had another closing shift. The day was ending and we were cleaning up the tables and preparing the building to get locked up. Nina eventually left for her usual smoke break. She left her stuff inside and went out through the back door, popped open a cigarette. After about half an hour, I realized that Nina still wasn't back in the store. This was odd.
What do you mean after half an hour she wasn't back in the store? What do you mean in half an hour is 30 minutes? What do you mean it doesn't take 30 minutes to smoke one cigarette? Maybe she popped like 5 minutes though.
It would usually take Nina only about 10 minutes to take a cigarette break, and she'd never just leave work like this, not with her stuff left behind anyways. It made no sense. Her phone and her...
What do you mean it made no sense? That's cause and effect, bro. Come on, bro. Bro. If somebody, I'm gonna give y'all an example. If somebody comes to your crib, bro, and they got a gun in their hand, you open the door, and they say, I'm gonna kill everybody in here, right? You know what I'm saying? Say they do that, and then they leave. You say you're gonna call the cops, they dip. That's like bringing your family out a week later, your whole family out in the same house, picnic, right? Just having a picnic. You thought that man was joking? You thought he was playing? And that was just, the gun in the hand is just a measle threat, bro. This man was, while he was talking to him. You don't think he's serious? You don't think he means business? Bro, he's like one of the worst type of people. But they just made it so easy for him. Oh shit, guess I just gotta come back in a week. No. You're supposed to get home and then take a smoke break. Shit, take one in the bathroom. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. Let me tell you what. Bro, just take one in the bathroom or something, bro. Why would you go outside of the same store, bro, right in front of your face, and then try to grab you? Please stop making it easy for people like them.
Her wallet were still in the store. I then remembered the man, and my heart and mind started
Then you
to race.
just remembered him. How do you
I instantly
forget
started
something like
worrying for
that?
the worst. I looked in the back of
looking
the
back in my
store and
closet.
she wasn't there. I looked in the back patio and there was no sign of her. Just a still lit cigarette lying on the ground. I called my manager and he called the police.
Packed up.
We searched all night for her, looked up and down and couldn't seem to find her. It made no sense. Even the police were stumped. It's like she disappeared into thin air.
Packed up, bro.
That night, I could barely sleep. I knew the police were handling it, but I just wanted to know where she was. How could she disappear like this? A few grim and horrible days went by, and I got the news, but it wasn't the news I wanted. Nina was found dead in the woods, her body stripped half naked. She was violated and murdered, and we all knew who the culprit was.
Fuck.
The police
Look at her
found the man
ankle.
not far away from the crime scene. He was staying in an old, dingy trailer. The man got life in prison, but this wouldn't fix the years of PTSD and mental health issues I'd have following this.
Yeah, nah, bro.
I soon quit my job at Dunkin'. It
Yeah.
was the right thing to do.
Yep.
I couldn't work there.
Yeah, hell no.
Not after what happened to Nina.
Hell no.
2017, I managed to.
Hell no, bro. Your friend Nina got packed up because her addiction made her so stupid that she forgot about the man. She forgot about the man. She didn't put the store on cop watch. Because I'm pretty sure you can call the cops and be like, can you get one or two people to stake out this motherfucker? Because a dude beat his dick right in front of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could have did something like that. She forgot about dude, which I know I already said, but that's just so stupid. I gotta give it to. And you let her. You're not her friend. You don't care. How did you forget that? That's like one of those things in life you never, like, no homo, but if a dude did that right in front of me, bro, there's no forgetting that, bro. That's forever. I'm gonna go to sleep that same night. I'm gonna have a normal dream, probably one of my normal dreams where I'm like running, but I'm low-key walking. You know what I'm saying? And then I just fall in like a trap door and I get knocked out. And as soon as I get up, the man's right in front of me like these. That's probably like the dream I'd have that'll never let me forget that experience. But hey, my fellow women, because I love you all, if a guy ever does that, please use my technique. 2, maybe 3 swift motions. Cock back. Punch. Get out of there. Do the dash. You know what I'm saying? 1, 2. Get out of there. I quit. I quit. That's all she had to do, bro. Now she's dead. Her ankle's off. It's fucked up, bro. I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, bro. That Hellboy, man. Daryl from 300.